What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Over here at my home garage again. If y'all couldn't tell from the last few videos, we did make the decision. We're gonna go ahead and focus our efforts on the big block and the Mustang. So the Saturn, I really appreciate my buddy Randy letting me borrow the Saturn for a few months. This thing's been really fun. It's been really different. It's gotten a lot of attention. I really like the difference that it is. It's not a Mustang. It's not anything that you normally see. But we got a bad to the bone Mustang that's going to be built. It's going to be way lighter than this one, even with the big block in it. So that's the smart decision to make. We want to have a competitive race car. We don't really care about the look at me scenario and the fact that this one gets a ton more attention than a regular Fox body Mustang. But it is what it is. I can't thank Randy enough. I really appreciate him letting us borrow it. But we're going to go ahead and start snatching everything out today. And then hopefully, in the next few weeks, we'll start getting all this stuff into the Mustang. The Mustang is almost ready to go to wiring, and it's going to be bad to the bone. Comment, like, and subscribe. Go to turbojohnracing.com if y'all want to support the channel and grab some hats and t-shirts. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Well, it should be pretty easy. If y'all remember when we put this thing together, there's a rolling chassis when we got it from Randy. So really up here, there's not much I got to get out. I've got to get my fuel cell out of it. That's mine. My water pump. I might see if Randy will let me buy this radiator. I kind of dig in that radiator. It's nice and small. And it'll also, I think I can make it work in the Mustang real good. Mid plate is in the car, so that stays with the car. Transmission and torque converter, of course, they come out. They're unbolted now, sitting on the floor. The only thing we got to do is take the mounts off here. So once we take the tail shaft mount off, then we'll be good to go. That'll come right out. The brake pedal, gas pedal, all that stuff stays. I'm also going to see if I can buy this shifter from him. I'm digging that shifter. I like it. So get all this stuff out. I'm going to leave the seat in it. Going to take my seat cover off of it, though, of course, because that fits my new one. Take the seat belts out. Got to get my tank out over here, and then the battery. And then, of course, all the wiring we're going to get out. Got all my gauge cluster stuff up here, the stuff we got from Junior Visit. Parachute stuff stayed with the car, so I did mount it and remove it a little bit, so that's all good. I do need to get my back shocks off of here as well. So the back shocks are my QA1s. It's kind of hard to see them back there, but this QA1 shocks, the mod series, we're going to be putting those on the new car. These struts up here, of course, stay with the car. Brake stuff stays with the car. Steering stuff stays in the car. It shouldn't be that bad. And I might have to do a lot of cutting of zippy ties. Courtney done a fabulous job of tidying up my wiring with all the zippy ties. So we're going to cut all the zippy ties off. And the way we had this thing wired in the other Mustang, and the way I wired it in this one, I made it so that it should be kind of easy to get out, and so I'm hoping it'll be the same. Basically, we'll just unplug everything, get all the zippy ties undone, and we ought to be able to cut like 4 wires and have this thing completely come out of here. And when I say completely come out of here, I mean it should be able to completely come out and just have a ball of wires again. Now Austin over at Drag Wire Solutions is planning on wiring the Mustang up. We've been kind of having a schedule though, push it back, so hopefully he's still good with his scheduling so he can work us in and get that Mustang wired up more professional and better layouts and better wiring and less duct tape and less zippy ties, you know, on our stuff. And no wire connectors, butt connectors, no wire, the things that you screw together, wire nuts, no wire nuts. I can't even remember the name of it. All right, let's get this thing taken apart real fast. Shouldn't be too terrible here. We'll start ahead and just get it apart. That's all we're gonna do. Get it apart, guys. All right, hang on. All right, guys, well, we're making some progress here. Man, I was kind of joking earlier about zip ties, but Courtney really did a fabulous job of zip tying everything up. Nothing was ever coming loose. Got a bunch of zip ties over here in the trash can, but you know, it is what it is. I really appreciate him coming and helping. So now, this wiring harness was my original Holley wiring harness from like 6-7 years ago whenever I first switched to Holley. And it's kind of hacked up, and I've got everything labeled real good. It works. It's mostly original Holley harness. I've added on sensors here and there, of course. Got back pressure sensors, and got an extra, I don't know if y'all remember, a couple years ago now, one of our oxygen sensor drivers died. I have no idea what happened to it. So the left oxygen sensor is no longer working, but in order for the right one to actually control, you have to have the left one hooked up. So there is an oxygen sensor just kind of dangling in the engine bay usually. So all I got left to do now, I should say all I got left to do, is we got to get the wires through the firewall. And then I've already unhooked the battery. I've already got the big connectors, the dash 16 lines out of there. Get the battery out, unhook all the Dominator stuff. And this stuff is it looks very trashy. It looks like a rat's nest, and it is. But the reality is it is 100% pretty easy to get in and out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all this out. I'll end up cutting just a few wires. I'll take my steering wheel buttons off over there, and we are gonna have to, since they're on each side, I will have to cut one of the wires on that one. But we got a new steering wheel for the other car, so we're gonna leave this steering wheel in this one. It's got the good strange connector on it. So that's a good thing. Taking the shifter out, we'll leave the transmission tunnel. The drive shaft goes with it. This has got an aluminum rear end in it. It is a Winters, so that is pretty cool. I do have to get my shocks off of it, like I was saying earlier. I'm gonna take the gear out. It had a 410 or 430 gear in it when I got it, and I put a 370 in it, so I do need to change the gear in it. And hopefully, I don't know if I'll get to that today, but the goal today, get all the wiring out, get the transmission out, get the shifter out, CO2 bottle out, battery out, all the wiring stuff out. We'll leave this little ammo box in here, because that is actually a really good spot. I bought that to put stuff, my phone and everything. Transmission, right here is my transmission cooler, so I have to get under there and unbolt that. And then, yeah, we should be able to get most of this done today, and hopefully we'll get most of it done. All right, we're gonna keep working. Hang on, let me take a break. All right, guys, well, that is going to wrap it up for today. We got the wiring out. We got mostly everything out. Still haven't gotten the transmission out yet, just because I need to crawl up under the car and take the drive shaft loose. But you can see all the wiring is gone. The Holley's gone. Everything is out for the most part. So we got all of it almost out. So that's a good thing. Very excited to be getting back into the Mustang. The Saturn has been really good to me. Oh, I gotta take that fire extinguisher's dead. I need to take that fire extinguisher out too. Yeah, still got the transmission and the lines and the filtered, the oil, the transmission cooler to take out. And I've got 120 pounds back there in the back I gotta get out too. But other than that, I'm taking it all out and we'll be done. And I just talked to Randy as well, and this thing is going to be for sale. I really appreciate him letting me borrow it. If anybody's interested, I've had a few people ask about a roller. It is a full tube chassis roller, and y'all have seen it, you know, through the build, through when we've gotten it. It's a bad to the bone chassis, and it is, when I say full tube chassis, I don't know if y'all have noticed, and I don't know if I've actually even told anybody, but it's a funny car body. And so you take this off, and when we got it, it was broken. And so I've got it pretty well supported. But if you were to take a bar and go from this front structure up here to this back bar back here in the back, then this body lifts up. We welded it on. We just tack welded it on so it wouldn't come up with these couple bars right here. There's one on the other side as well. But basically, there's a hinge system back here in the back, and this thing picks up like a funny car. That also means if you weren't happy with a Saturn body, that you could take the Saturn body off and put another chassis on it, or another body if you wanted to take a bunch of weight out of the car. This thing, with me in it being almost 300 pounds, the 120 pound bar in the back, it's scaled out at 50/50, aluminum small block, turbo up here in the front, fuel cell up in the front, radiator up in the front, 50/50, about 2,750 pounds. So it's a pretty good working car. We went a 482, I think it was. We were on track to go 470 before I messed the motor up. The doors come off. But they are the factory doors. They've been lightened a little bit, but not much. But this is some nice stuff, man. I got my QA1s on the back right now. They're going to come off. These Sand Toughs are going back on the back. Sand Tough double adjustable shock. That's a really good shock. The drive shaft will stay with the car as well. We've got this drive shaft enclosure. Centerline wheels in the back. It's got tubes. They're non-beadlock, but it's got a tube in it, the 28x10, which they need to be replaced here at some point. Front wheels, it is strut up here on the front. Now the front strut is non-adjustable, but we were making it work pretty good, so it was working out. It's got the mid plate stays with it, so we'll just take my transmission out. The steering shaft, steering column, the steering wheel is all here. It's got the quick release strange connector there. Parachute stays with it. Parachute is on it. It's got a new bag back here inside. It's one of the deployment bags. So I put a new bag in it, so that's all good to go. Underneath the car it's all full tube chassis. Y'all seen it if y'all hadn't seen any of my videos. It's got an aluminum Winters rear end. It is 4-link. The gear, it's got my 370 in it right now, but I need to get that out. It's gonna have a 430 gear in it, 9-inch. That's a nice car, man. It's really good. Really, really good car. Meets all the requirements for steel roof and steel quarters, even though that stuff's plastic, because it's plastic from the actual factory. The top is actually steel, and the deck lid back here is actually steel as well. Nice big wing. It's a nice car, man. It's a really nice car. I'm digging it. I like it. But we're going to go back to the Mustang. The Mustang is going to be better suited for what we're going to do, I think. Like I said, I'm going to miss the Saturn, though. I'm going to miss it. But it is what it is. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit me up if y'all are interested in getting more information on the car. $18,000 is always wanting for it. Maybe some negotiability in there. Comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see y'all.